No, I certainly didn't, Phil. I'm here with Chris Barnes, our tournament leader. And Chris, my question to you is, what took you so long to make your first telecast?
Well, I tell you what, the transition to coming out on tour is kind of tough. The competition is really strong, and you have to be at your best to make a TV show. And so it's taken me a while to get here. Made a lot of mistakes along the way. Hopefully I've learned from a few of them and can take advantage of them today.
Okay, now I watched you last night, and there was a lot of struggling going on. You kind of fell back early, but then you started throwing the ball with a lot of loft from deep inside. Is that a possible game plan for today?
It could be. It seems like the guys are playing a little bit further right than I've been playing most of the week, and pretty successfully. I'm going to take a look out there, but I'm also going to take a look at that line from deep inside over the left gutter cap that I've had some success with this week.
You got a 20-time PBA champion, Brian Voss, hoping to get to you. However, Brian Himmler, he's going to have something to say about that. He's been bowling very good. He's made a lot of telecasts. He hasn't won yet either. Who do you like in this match?
Tough to call. Both these guys are great players. Brian Himmler struck all week long, and I was fortunate last night to overcome him. And I like Brian.
He likes Brian. Well, you know what? So do I. Back up to you, Phil.
I'll go out on a limb. All right, Brian Voss against Brian Himmler. And it will be Voss to throw the opening shot here in the semifinal match of the Albuquerque-Open. Voss, 266 to 203 over Michael Haugen. And Voss loves that third-seeded position, won a couple of times last year from that third-seeded spot in Virginia Beach, and also the Johnny Petraglia Open in North Brunswick, New Jersey. So trying to do that this afternoon. The look of a champion. 20 times open. A little soft.
Well, didn't get to the line well, that shot. He was actually, the body got there before the arm swing did. He had to pull it through. Well, if we take a look, they're a little early, had to kind of pull it through, muscle the ball. Didn't work, leads to 3 and a 6. Brian Voss, hard and straight at the 3-6. He makes it. He had a little problem last night, Phil. He strained his groin muscle just a little bit when he slipped on one of the approaches. Seems to be feeling good today.
You take a look at Brian Himmler, 5'9", 25 years of age, out of Cincinnati. Great-looking young kid.
And talk about power. Watch this ball come back. He shows us immediately. Ball goes from deep inside to far out and back in.
Looks like Nerf pins.
Just destroys the pin. Here comes that ball right into your living room. Looks like it's going in the channel, but it's coming back. 5 regional titles for him. We're still searching for the elusive very first PBA win as he hung around the top 5, really first or second all week long. Going for the early double. Solid 10 for Brian Himmler. He made the shot he wanted to make. Let's take a look at the line he's playing. Deep inside, way out, strong back end recovery on the ball, but it's a solid 10.
And we're going for the spare. He was voted the Headquarters Region Player of the Year in 1996. He's lined in early. So Voss up in the second frame after an opening spare.
And Brian Voss on lane 24, 5 shots, 5 strikes.
Pretty good percentage.
He's 6 for 6 on that right-hand lane.
Running it out a bit.
We take a look at our proprietors of Leisure Bowl, Dick and Janet Tanner, and once again, I'd like to thank them for hosting us and doing such a great job. Looking forward to coming back again next year. Very hospitable here in Albuquerque.
Second consecutive year here at Leisure Bowl with a national tour stop. Next year, the annual ABC tournament, including the Masters, will be in the city of Albuquerque. So the 2-4-5.
And it looks like everybody's having the same problem. After they win one match, Haugen wins a match, has trouble the next match. Voss wins his match. Now he starts out having trouble in this match. If it continues that way, it certainly looks really good for Chris Barnes because he only gets to bowl one match. picks it up. So the 245 standing pretty far left.
Trying to make sure he doesn't chop the 2-pin off the 5. Cutting down the angle. And speaking of angle, watch all the angle that this young man develops with his power. Starting the ball over the 5th arrow. Way out. Way back.
Was that a full rack? Oh. All of them in the pit, so Himmler strikes, spares, strike.
How close he is to the ball return as he starts his approach. And then foot over the, right over the channel. Lucky they don't have left-hand channel.
Old-fashioned ball returns that go all the way up to the foul. He'd have trouble.
There's no way he could do it.
18 cashes, 25 events last year for the Chief.
He was quoted in the paper as saying he's been on television enough. He is not nervous. And there's a great shot. In fact, 4 of them, only a solid 10 in the second frame, keeping him from 4 strikes in a row. It's strike spare double for Brian Himmler and a 10-pin lead.
Voss working on a spare up in the 4th frame.
For Michael Haugen, it was the right-hand lane that he lost. For Brian Voss, he's having trouble on the left-hand lane. I think Brian had just soon bowl every shot on that right-hand lane. That's 7 consecutive strikes on the right-hand lane.
Trying to make it a double for Voss in the 5th frame.
You'll see some emotion if he strikes on this ball. I really think that Brian had trouble in the first frame on that lane because he didn't get to the line properly, and I think he's made an adjustment for a bad shot instead of just trying to get out of the ball a little cleaner. That's what it's looking like.
Not struck on that lane in this ball game. 3 spares to go along with his 2 strikes.
And I would think because of the experience of a Brian Voss and the experience of Brian Himmler, the winner of this match is in very good shape to win this title. Not that Chris Barnes doesn't have a lot of game. He does, but he doesn't have the experience that even a Brian Himmler has. You can see Himmler highly ranked by the PBA.
He's 24, 4 games on this TV player this week. And he's got 3 in a row now.
Taking advantage of the power. The good thing he doesn't have to play any deeper than he is because he's already bouncing off that ball return. Sliding all the way in the left-hand channel. Almost throws it in the right. It comes back.
Himmler in the 6th.
Just keep applying the pressure. That's got to be what he's thinking. Just like that.
So he left a ringing 10-pin in the 2nd frame. Other than that, all strikes for Brian Himmler through 6. We'll be back for the conclusion of this match in a minute.
Bull.
In Albuquerque, Brian Voss going up against Brian Himmler and look at that, Marshall.
Well, take a look. Brian Voss, 16 years of experience. The field has 16 years of experience. The 4 other players, 20 titles to none, and look at that earnings, over 100,000 more just on Voss's side. So to say he's the boss, I suppose that's an understatement. But right now, he's the underdog in this match because he can.
This is the lane.
You heard him. 24 easy lane, 23 difficult.
What kind of adjustment can he make? 23 just seems to have him baffled.
Well, he can move in a little deeper and throw the ball slower, sort of similar to what Himmler is doing. During commercial, he was standing there on lane 23, just sort of staring it down, trying to figure out what will work. It's very fleeting. You have it 1 minute, you lose it the next. And that is a terrible break for Brian Voss. High flush 10-pin. You'll very seldom see that.
Himmler Pins all just went back.
Well, watch as the ball enters the 1-3 pocket a little bit high, but certainly flush, and the 6 pin gets shoved in front of the 10 pin. Very unusual.
Able to convert. Well, that would have helped to double.
If Brian Voss wants to, and he certainly does, want to win this tournament and make it 13 years in a row early in 1999, he may need a little help from this man right here, Brian Himmler. He's not getting me.
Wow, that ball is strong. So he's found the key. He's locked in. Himmler with 5 in a row, and really could have been 7 because it was a ring and 10 pin in that second frame.
Himmler working on a 239 pace if he were to spare here and then strike spare out. For Brian Voss, the best he can do is 230, so Himmler just needs to keep himself clean and keep marking, but he'd certainly like to keep striking and lock this match up as early as possible. Not only does he make good shots, he's getting the good roll of the pins. Everything going Himmler's way. A 50-pin advantage over PBA Hall of Famer Brian Voss. You wouldn't think he would have got there, but watch this reaction. All right.
Brian Himmler taking charge here in the semifinal match. Voss.
He never misses. Never missed that one.
If he just stayed on that lane, he'd be in great shape. But
9 shots on lane 24, 9 strikes on lane 24, and has not been able to catch a strike on 23 the entire match for any chance, Phil. This is certainly a must.
Can go off the shoe with 230. Brian Voss needs this one here, definitely.
Yeah, he did move in.
Still alive.
Still alive.
Still alive.
Barely.
Still alive.
He did move in, gave the ball more room. Showed a little power of his own there on lane 23. He finally strikes there, but Brian Himmler certainly in control of this match. One more on this lane should do it.
You called it.
He's your winner.
Brian Himmler. Issue 280. And he will take on our tournament leader, Chris Barnes.
And it's just a matter of keeping the ball on the lane right now, and it's happened every game. Haugen bowled great, Haugen struggled. Voss bowled great, Voss struggled. Himmler's bowling great, but will he struggle in the title match against Chris Barnes? Well, find out in a few minutes.
Himmler's going up his TV average after this ball game. He was averaging just 205, 6-7 record in 7 appearances.
You hate to do that. What Himmler just did in this last shot, he just basically threw an air ball. Ball went way wide, did not recover. Now he leaves a 1-2-4. That's not the problem. He doesn't need to make this to win the match, but you want to keep the momentum going. So it's important to make this spare so we can throw another shot, Phil, and have a chance to get himself lined up once again. Now you should concentrate on this next shot, Brian. It's important. Possible 257. Even if he throws the ball in the channel, it's 247. Voss' best he can do is 230. So the match has been won, but the tournament hasn't been won yet, and that's what he's aiming at.
Himmler again going for his first PBA victory. In fact, we are going to have another new champion
on consecutive weeks on our tour. And look at that. Now he's a little bit lost. If I'm Chris Barnes, I'm liking what I'm seeing right now.
Brian Himmler, 253, more than enough to defeat Brian Voss. So it'll be Himmler going up against Chris Barnes. And we're here at Leisure Bowl in Albuquerque. The second stop of the 1999 PBA Tour here on ESPN. It'll be Brian Himmler going up against Chris Barnes in our championship match. You can access all the latest PBA information